Hi, and welcome back to the Switch Show. I am your host, Malise Chinoye, and today we'll be talking about the concept of moving fast and slow. As you can already tell by the title, you might be wondering, what does it mean to move fast and slow? Are we moving fast or are we going slow? But just follow me on this. All right. So the concept of moving fast and slow, it's actually a very important thing to consider. Number one, as a person, and most importantly, as a Christian, because one of the things we as Christians we fail to realize is that we want to move so fast and we want to move so quickly when we catch a vision or when we have a dream or when we have a plan that is in line with the will of God. We want to move so fast that we might either crash or we might fail. Even something that seems to be the will of God can be compromised if you are not careful. And other times we are moving at a pace that is too slow, that is even slower than God. We need to be in tandem with God in every season and at every point in our walk with Him. We need to be in tandem with Him. But we can't understand this if we are moving too fast or we are going too slow. So moving fast and slow, as oxymoronic or antithetical as it might sound, is actually one of the most important things that we need to, have. It's one of our, as much as we, have devotion and all that other stuff, it's one of the most important things that we need to consider as Christians. So let's get the definitions out of the way. Fast means moving or able to move quickly. Now I'm going to, for the definitions, there are two definitions I want to, put out. And these are the ones that you need to consider. For fast, it means taking a short amount of time. And for slow, it means taking more time than is expected or wanted. So why those definitions are important is because let's consider someone like Abraham. If Abraham were to be moving too fast, when he got his child Isaac, he probably, in fact, he even moved too fast. Let me put it that way. He moved faster than God because he adhered to Sarah. When Sarah told him to lay with her maid Hagar, and he eventually bore Ishmael, that was moving faster than God, because Sarah was thinking she was too old to bear a child, already taking too much time, and that was moving slow. It was looking slower and slower, and time was passing them by every passing minute. So Sarah was tired and said, "You know what? Go and live with Hagar. If you have a child, it's not so much of a big deal." He eventually got Isaac, even though it took more time than he wanted or more time than he expected. So you see that God's time. Another thing to note with moving fast and slow is that it operates with God's time, and God is not a being or an entity bound by time. He lives in a realm that is timeless. So imagine telling yourself that you are moving too slow, or God is moving you at a pace that you can't keep up with. It's because we are on this side of eternity that is bound by time, ruled by 24-hour days, that's ruled by 4-week months, 52-week years, and so on. So that's the way it is for us. But understanding that we are walking and we are working with and for a timeless God gives us the idea and puts us in a better position to move fast when He's moving fast and to withdraw when He's going slow. Alright? So the concept of moving fast and slow connotes regulation and restraint. A life that would be well lived is a life that has restraints and restrictions in certain areas of that life. What this means is that you are not as free as you think you are. Whether you are a Christian or not, there is some form of restraint over your life. It's just that you can't see it. But there's an advantage as a Christian. The restraint is not to hold you down. It's actually to protect you. And there is an important illustration, just follow me on this. For example, when you are standing 10 feet off the ground. You're standing 10 feet off the ground. If you were to be standing 10 feet off the ground, close to a ledge, and that ledge has no guardrails, if you're not careful, you're going to slip and fall. But when there are guardrails, when there are barricades around you, you feel safer. Why? Because you are in a position, you've put it in your mind that even if I slip and fall, I won't fall to the ground. I won't know, even though I'm high up, there are barricades around me to protect me. That is how it is with God. Some of the things that God tells us not to do, some of the things that God says, okay, do these things, some of the things that God withholds from us, it's not because he hates us or he's trying to bring us down or he's trying to be a wicked person. God is not a person. He's not a man. He's not like us. He's actually trying to protect us. It is for our own protection. So God is protective. He's not a human being that is not looking after you. So it is for your well-being. So think about it today. It's not because he hates you or he's trying to compare with the devil, and God is not in a competition with the devil, because many times we think that the reason why God is doing it is because the devil's children, in quotes, are doing the same thing. No, God is not in a competition with him. The devil is the one in a competition with, trying to compete with God, and he obviously can't win. Alright? So it is for your protection. And moving slow is not always an indicator of no progress. We take Abraham again, for example. He was eventually going to have Isaac, but it was taking too much time. Alright? Let's take the Israelites, the children of Israel, for example. These guys were, even though they disobeyed God and they had to walk longer in the wilderness than expected, they were still heading to the promised land. They still got to the promised land. So even though it is taking longer than expected, either because of your disobedience, either because of your unwillingness to participate in what God is doing, or even when you are following everything through and through, everything that God has told you to do, even when you are following everything hook, line and sinker, and it's looking like it's never going to come, it will still come. There's a scripture that says, even though it tarries, it will still come to pass. So no matter how long it might seem, it will still come to pass. Alright? Sometimes moving fast is not a viable option when it comes to growth in the direction of fulfilling purpose. And the reason I said this is because many times we want to take, for example, let me use myself as an example. When I started podcasting, I wanted to reach like 1 million people in the first 2 years. But when you look at the algorithm and you look at, there are other factors that come into play. But there are some people that know how to find their way around the algorithm, and make the most of it. But I, at that point when I started, wasn't as intelligent, or I was not as equipped as I am now. Excuse me. Okay, so it was for my growth. It was important that I had to grow and to be more knowledgeable, to be more aware, to understand certain things. So if I'm posed with questions on things I said, I won't stutter, or I won't look like I don't know what I'm saying, or I don't have an idea of what I'm saying. I should have an idea at least of what I'm saying. I shouldn't just come out here and blabber or throw words around without them holding any weight. Alright? So essentially, I had to move slowly. There is a quote that says slowly but surely. You hear some adults, African parents, throw it around. They'll tell you slowly but surely you get there. Probably you are, cast down. You're down on your knees and you're crying to God like, God, this thing doesn't look like it's going to come. But yeah, slowly but surely it would come. And another thing to understand is that speed is relative. Speed is relative. And what this means is, I don't know why I'm saying these. But what it means is that the way you are moving might look slow to you, but to another person it seems fast. And you might be looking at another person and say, this person is flying. It's like an airplane. It's like an airplane on legs. And to them, they are moving slowly. The reason it is this way is because of the time of preparation. So many times we don't see the process, we just see the result. Okay, so when people are not there for your process, when people are not there when you started, and then they see results, maybe you come out of your shell, and in like six months to a year, you're like a global phenomenon, and they're like, when did this guy come out? Just came out yesterday, and he's already a superstar. He's already, taking territories for the gospel and whatnot. They did not see your 4, 5, 6, 7 years of preparation. They only saw your 6 months to 1 year of results. All right. So speed is relative. And to another, you are thinking, to someone else, you're like, this guy is moving slow. Since when I don't know this guy, this is how it has been. And to you, it's actually fast. Okay. Now, the most important thing is not just opinions. You have to work with God on this, because it's this way. Because when you think you're moving fast, you might actually be slow. And when you think you're moving slow, you're actually fast. All right. So the most important thing is that whether people conceive or look at you as moving fast, whether you think your opinions and their opinions don't really hold water against God's opinions. And God's opinions are not just opinions, they're actually the final say. All right? Because He created you, and like my pastor would say, the purpose is greater than the purposed. So what your life would be, or what you'd become in life, is older than you that was created. So there was a purpose before you were created. All right. So on a final note, moving fast and slow helps you navigate through life, because life is never a straight line. Now, many people think that when you come to God, everything becomes easy. Many people think that when you come to God, everything becomes easy, and that you just wake up and you are having dreams and visions, and they are loading prophecies like they are loading a rifle or a pistol or something, and it's ready to discharge, and you are ready to fire. You're like an explosion waiting to happen. It's not always like that. There are many times the detonation process looks slow as anything. You're like, when will this thing go off now? When will I, in our local, when will I blow? When I go blow? And then your explosion is not now. It's not any time. It's not now. It has to take time, because the explosion that, I'm using the word explosion figuratively, the explosion that God wants for you needs time to build. But you're not interested in the building. You just want to run. No, it's not a 100-meter sprint. Many times it looks like a 400 meters or an 800, 1,500 meter sprint. Probably looks like that. Probably even looks like a mountain run that has dips and crests, that has valleys and hills, that has muds. You slip here you have your footing. On this other place you've not found your footing. Sometimes it's exhausting. But that is what you need to understand. Sometimes you've run too fast. You need to take a break and breathe. You need to stop, breathe. Take an inventory of your life. Look at your surroundings. Look at what you might have hit. The things you might have trampled upon just to get to the top. The things you might have done just to get where you are. Was it in line with God's will? If not, take a step back and move according to God's will. All right? So yeah, that's been it. I hope this helps in some way, because it's as much as it is kind of a message to you guys, it's also a message to me. It's something that we all need to learn we all need to relearn. If you've already come across this concept, then kudos to you, hats off to you, cheers. But then if you've not, you're probably like me, for the podcast, we found it, and then we are trying to not just know it, but understand and live a life that is according to God's will, no matter how fast or no matter how slow it is. So yeah, be sure to check us out on all of our socials. They'll be down in the description. You can just follow us, leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify if you're listening on Spotify. Share with your friends and your family and to anyone that you know that needs this. And I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.